Please remain standing as we prepare for the singing of the national anthem. And you know that as we sing our national anthem, we need to respect our anthem. So all our boys, gentlemen, your heads off your head. Your head. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Can everybody's outside, please make sure that you come in so that we can start with the program. Without wasting time, I want to take this opportunity to welcome and introduce our dignitaries for the day, starting with the Minister of Basic Education in the Republic of South Africa, Honorable Nosiviwe Kwagube. Minister, you are most welcome. Take this opportunity to recognize and welcome the MEC for Education, Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation in Gauteng, Honorable Matume Chilwan. Welcome, MEC. Take this opportunity to recognize and welcome our EU Ambassador, Her Excellency Sandra Kramer. Most welcome. Take this opportunity to introduce our Director General in Basic Education in the Republic of South Africa, Babu Matanzi Momwele. Thank you so much, sir, for gracing our occasion. Please note that I may not be able to name everybody that is here today, but I must indicate that we've got representatives from the following organizations: UNICEF, UNESCO, Foundation for Human Rights, and we also have in our midst, I'm not sure where he has arrived, our Councillor Kaldin. We have got colleagues from SAPS who are partners in terms of school safety. We also have the District Director, for those who don't know her, Tsepo Siate, who's the District Director for Johannesburg West. We have TBE and GDE officials present today. We've got our stakeholders who are very active in this area. Want to welcome you. We've got partners who have been supporting this particular institution. We are most welcome. We also have educators that are here with us and principals from local schools, and the most important celebrities or dignitaries, our learners, who have indicated that they will be creating 100% pass for this year. Everything that is going to be shared with you today, it is in your interest, because the Department of Basic Education prioritizes your safety. So hoping that you're going to behave and listen attentively to everything that is going to be said, because we want to make sure that all our learners are in safe schools. All our guests that are present, if I have not mentioned you by name or by organization, you are most welcome. And without wasting time, I'm going to request our ward councillor to come on stage and officially welcome us to this area. Is that Councillor Kaldin? If there's no, oh, he's coming. Any representatives from the council? Well, I'll do the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are welcome to Eldorado Park, and in particular, Ward 18. I've officially welcomed you to this sitting. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity to invite Brigadier Josephs from the SAPS just to come and do an overview of crime and drug abuse challenges facing this particular community and related areas. Is now on stage. Over to you, Brigadier. Thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Yes, I hear they say Brigadier Joseph. I am Brigadier Amos Lefatoteti, Station Commander of Jabulani, representing the District, Johannesburg District Commissioner, Major General Kubeka. Let me first greet the Minister, our Honorable Minister, Minister Gwarube, the MEC for Education, MEC Chulani, EU Ambassador, Ambassador Sandra Kramer, councillors, let me safely say, protocol observed. In terms of the ICVPS, ICVPS stands for Integrated Crime and Violence Prevention Strategy. It's got 6 pillars. On pillar number 2 is talking about early intervention. We are gathered here specifically due to early intervention. What is early intervention? Early intervention, we're talking about Adopt a Cop, SGB, because we are dealing with our kids and also the parents. I am proud to say the ICVPS, it was adopted by the Parliament during the year 2022. And then we are gathered here as stakeholders only based on the government document. Let me not waste time and use my 5 minutes productively. School safety programs. School Safety Steering Committee established 2018. Eldorado Park Secondary School participated in provincial launch of school safety protocol 15 October 2025. The programs we are having junior commissioner programs, and then we are having career education, school talks, and also we are having school searches. Each and every day we are making sure that we are doing school search. It is very important that there's a collaboration between the schools each and every school that we are attending to. Remember, in the whole of province, we are having 72, and then we are getting marching orders from the MEC that we have to work together with the schools, and then we are having also the priority schools. Prison toss, and then we are also having chess as we're getting in here in the hall. You saw there's a chess there, the chess project. And then we are also having sport against crime. The programs are implemented to rebuild the trust of the learners in the SAPS. These actions also offer a platform for the sharing information related to crime, women and child abuse, domestic violence, and GBV related matters. The availability of illicit drugs and substances. Remember, we are also dealing with the generators of crime. What are the generators of crime? As they were briefing the minister, they talked about substance abuse, drugs, and also liquor abuse, illegal shebins, and. Now, the school safety programs are implemented to ensure that schools are a safer place for learning and teaching. Victim empowerment partnership programs. Victim-friendly rooms, they are 24 hours operational. Psychosocial support to victims of crimes. GBV desk, please, when you arrive or when you get into any police station, there is a GBV desk. Youth care workers, Eldorado Park Family Crisis Center, Youth Crime Prevention Desk, and Community Policing Forum. Community in Blue patrollers, you saw them. They flooded the area. GBV brigades, they are available. Partnership programs. ICVPS, that's the one that I talked about, Integrated Crime and Violence Prevention Strategy, Community Policing. In conclusion, SAPS, Eldorado Park Police Station remains committed to ensure a safe and secure environment for learning and teaching. Work in partnership with all relevant and strategic stakeholders in the implementation of school safety plan, and ensure the matters pertaining to GBV are always addressed. Implementation of the national GBV 6-point plan. In conclusion, we are working in terms of legal framework. Legal framework is the Constitution, Section 205, subsection 3. From Amos Lefatsotete, the station commander of Jabulani, representing Johannesburg, District Commissioner, Major General Kubeka. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Adusotits. Brigadier was well represented. And I think all the learners and stakeholders have heard all the programs that we are initiating, we are putting in place, and we truly appreciate. And the final say to say, there's commitment from your side. We truly appreciate. We'll work together with you. At this point, I just want to say, the ward councillor she just wanted to say hi because she thought I did not do it the right way. The right way is aware, but I think she wants to come in and.
When I reach the mic.
1 minute.
I think I must stand on my toes.
Just 1 minute.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Am I audible? Greetings, MEC, provincial government delegates, various stakeholders, Eldorado Park senior secondary staff, as well as the learners and community. Firstly, I'd like to apologize that I'm late. You know, in a community like Eldorado Park, something is always happening along the road and you have to stop. Thank you so much for the program, and thank you so much for coming to Eldorado Park. We value it and we appreciate it. But I'd also like to say that the amount of SAPs I see here today, in a community like this, we'd like to see it every single day. And And not only when we receive delegates, because not every colored child is a gangster. Not every colored child uses drugs. Not every colored child is a substance abuse user. And it is important to understand that in a community like Eldorado Park, we fall victim to things as gangsterism. Not that you want to, but you are forced to, due to lack of opportunities. It cannot be that we have students in this community that have bachelors and degrees, but there's no job opportunities for our children. So it's important that we understand we don't only want to see this when it's time for elections. It's 2026. We know that it's time for elections, and we know that political parties will be campaigning. This is something that we want to see throughout the year. Eldorado Park SAPS is not servicing this community. MEC, and I have to put it on record. We have a station commander, and this is not even about the police station, but gangsterism starts because of a lack of service from the police station. Gangsterism, substance abuse starts because there is no law enforcement to enforce the law. So we hope that this will yield results. We hope that there will be a positive outcome out of today's visit. I thank you. I'm Councillor Kaldeen.
Thank you so much. We are going to take now this opportunity to alter the program a bit because of other urgent matters that have just arisen in the last hour or so. I'm going to take this opportunity to invite our MEC to come and introduce our minister. Then from there we'll go back to our program. MEC, without wasting time, can we do that?
Thank you so much, Program Director. Good morning. Sanbonani, Molweni, Absheni, Dimacheroni, Goeiemorgen. Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Minister Kwahube, the leadership of SAPS that is here, led by Brigadier Tsotets, the ambassador of the EU, Dr. Sandra Kramer, and all the Mr. Nelson Mafa. Okay. The Principal Councillor, Honorable John Moody, our Reverend, I work very closely with him in the legislature, keen and passionate about education, always holds me accountable on a number of issues. The leadership of GDE that is present here, led now by the Program Director, who's the Chief Director. Minister, I don't want to take much time. I want to firstly say that the reason we are altering the program is that we just experienced a very bad accident, of which we have lost 11 learners. So I have to just rush there. It's one of those issues that we'll discuss and we'll have to deal with as a sector around private scholar transport. We need to have a long discussion on its regulation, because this is some of the key problems that we experience. Today we lost 11 learners, but does not mean we have not been losing learners due to private scholar transport, including public transport, because some of the service providers bring what you can term a casket carrying our kids to school on a daily basis, where brakes don't work, tires are worn off, even the chairs and the seats where they have to sit is worn out. So we have to have a very, very thorough discussion on how best we deal with how we transport our kids to schools. I always say to the MEC responsible for transport that if there's any bus that is not roadworthy carrying our learners, I'd rather have our learners not arrive in school for that day and not arrive at all forever. So I've asked that they have to be strict, and that includes law enforcement. We will have to be strict on that implementation aspect. Stop any vehicle that is not roadworthy carrying our kids at all times. I'd rather have them be late. I'd rather not have arrived to school on that day, but arrive tomorrow safe. But be it may, quickly around what we are here for today, Minister. Over the festive season, we had a very difficult festive season period now, where our schools were vandalized. The last figure that I have currently is that we have over 60 schools that were just vandalized throughout the period. And now some of the schools have not really opened because of such vandalism, where a person just comes and destroys everything and leave it as it is. And this is the type of thuggerism that we tend to experience, our schools experiencing. And I always want to call on the community that, councillor, we can invest millions into the schools, which we are. But if we don't have the beneficiaries, people who must benefit, which is the community, by implication the learners, protecting the school, our efforts become futile. We need the community to work with our schools. We need the community to protect our schools. I always give an example of a school in Katlehong, the Katlehong School of Specialization. Katlehong is similar township, an area like Eldos. Communities plagued by violence, substance abuse, all the social ills you can think of. But that school is never vandalized because the community members themselves protect the school, council. Themselves, they don't wait for police. They protect. You will never enter that school. You will never break into that school because the community is the first protector of that school, because they know that with that school, their children's future is safe. And the same with Eldos. With this school, the kids of this place are safe. So we have to work with yourselves. We need the community. SAPS, of course, I agree with you. SAPS, you must do your work. You have to. We can't say when there's an incident of fast guns or Farados that is here, and then the principal or the school calls you, you take half an hour or an hour. If you take long, it means you are not coming to solve the problem. You are coming to fetch the body. So you have to make a decision. So I want you to also play your part in supporting our schools. Minister, we invested a lot. I mean, we provided security, which is unfunded. We had to find money somewhere so that we can put security in our schools. But that was supposed to be a temporary measure to stabilize. Yes, we've received success in that, but some schools are still calling for. So the issue of providing support and security for our schools, Minister, I want you to please consider it on how best can we fund it, because there are schools that need that particular permanent stay of security, much like this one. But the truth of the matter is that to get the school right, you need the leadership that is right in the school. You need the community on board. You need a proper functioning SGB. Then you will have a proper school. Minister, with those few words, Minister, without really taking much time, I want to call on the Honorable Minister of the Department of Basic Education in the country, Honorable Minister Kwahube. Thank you very much.
fix this. Thank you very much, everybody. You may be seated. Program Director, thank you very much, and thank you to the MEC. As he indicated this morning, we have a tragedy of 11 young learners that we have lost, and those lives, and we really are sending our deepest condolences to their families and to the specific school. It is never good to lose any learner, not even one. To lose so many is really, really heartbreaking at the beginning of a school year. I'd like to also greet the European Union ambassador, representatives from UNICEF, UNESCO, and our implementing partners, the local leadership, the councillor, senior officials from national and provincial education departments, the school leadership, educators and parents who are here, but more importantly, our learners who are here. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. Thank you for welcoming us to Eldorado Park today, for allowing us into your school at the start of the academic year. This visit forms part of the National 2026 Back to School campaign, but this is not just a routine stop. I'm here because school safety matters. I'm here because bullying and violence are not normal and must never be accepted. I'm here because gender-based violence has no place in our schools and in our society. The beginning of a school year should be a time of hope, a time to focus on ambition, and learners should be arriving at school thinking about learning, friendships, and the future, but not about fear, intimidation, or harm. So when our schools are unsafe, learning suffers. When learners feel threatened, dignity is stripped away. And when violence becomes normalized, we as adults are failing our children. And so school safety to us is not just a side issue. It's a precondition for quality education. And as a government, we are clear. Schools must be places of care, of discipline, of respect. Learners must feel protected by adults and that they are entrusted with their education. Violence and bullying and abuse must be prevented, reported, and addressed decisively. But this requires, ladies and gentlemen, more than just rules and policies. It requires leadership, it requires community involvement, and it requires partnerships. Principals can't do this alone. Educators can't do this alone. And government cannot do this alone. We need parents, we need learners themselves, we need community leaders, we need law enforcement, and we need social partners to work together. Now, I want to speak directly to our learners who are here this morning. Bullying, whether physical, verbal, emotional, online, is violence, and it cannot be tolerated. It leaves scars that are not always visible, but has a long-lasting impact. And so to those who are being bullied, you are not weak, you are not alone, and you must speak up. And to those who bully others, that behavior is unacceptable. It will not be tolerated, and it must absolutely stop. And to bystanders and those who see bullying and say nothing, silence protects the bully and not the victim. Being brave sometimes means standing up for somebody else, and gender-based violence is one of the greatest threats to the safety of well-being of our learners, particularly girls. GBV destroys confidence, interrupts education, and causes lifelong trauma, young people. And so our responsibility is clear. We must prevent GBV through education and awareness. We must support survivors with dignity and care. And we must ensure that perpetrators are held accountable. So today's engagement is therefore not just symbolic. It's about action, it's about resources, and it's about accountability. And so I'm pleased today that I'm joined by the European Union Ambassador Her Excellency Ms. Kramer, for an important public announcement. The European Union has committed £5 million towards a national program focused on preventing and responding to gender-based violence in our schools. And I think that deserves a round of applause. And that's the power of partnerships. That is the power of partnerships, because the European Union can see it fit that each and every one of you seated right here is important enough and is important enough to protect your education and to protect your safety. And that we as a government need support to make sure that we support you. I want to make it clear that one of the most successful stories of the 2025 class of matric is that the more and more bachelor passes are coming from no-fee schools, from poorer communities, and that says to me, it doesn't matter where you come from, it will not determine where you are going. And I want to remind you that. And so to the learners of Eldorado Park, I want you to know that even you are valued, such that our partners would see it fit to have such a generous donation of a national-wide program. This investment will strengthen prevention education, psychosocial support, and referral pathways, and school-based interventions to protect our learners. And this partnership sends a powerful message. The safety of children is a global priority, and South Africa is not alone in this fight. We welcome this contribution, and we commit to ensuring that it delivers real impact in the lives of our learners, in your lives and in the lives of others around the country. And shortly, we will sign a public commitment together with learners, education leaders, and partners. This commitment is not just a photo opportunity. It is a promise. It's a promise that we will act where learners are unsafe, we will listen when children speak, and we will build schools where respect, dignity, and learning comes first. To our learners, you are not just passive recipients of this protection. You are our partners too in building a safe school, because it also depends on you what kind of culture you are building in your school. Choose kindness, reject violence, speak out against bullying, and support one another. To our educators and school leaders, your leadership shapes school culture. Safety starts with what you tolerate and what you refuse to tolerate. And so let me conclude by saying this. A safe school is not a privilege, it is a right. And as long as even one learner is afraid to walk into a classroom, our work is then not done. So together, government, partners, communities, and learners, we can and we must build schools that are safe, that are caring, and that are worthy of our children. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for our minister. Minister, thank you so much for this hope building presentation. And thank you so much for mobilizing all the resources that are going to be assisting us in ensuring that our schools are safe. We truly appreciate that. I think the minister has indicated that she was able to mobilize resources through partners that have got an interest in our well-being and an interest in our safety. And to do it more, just to your point, just to understand what this means. The EU did not just say, no, we're going to send fund. The EU ambassador is here. Just to say, this is the commitment that we are making for you to be safe. Without wasting time, Her Excellency, may you please come on stage just to emphasize the partnership that we're doing.
Sani Bonani. Goedemorgen. Sani Bonani, Moweni. Good morning. And I will stand on all protocols that has been established by the Minister. And I would like to thank the Honourable Minister, the MEC, the school principal, and all learners and all stakeholders for welcoming the European Union in your community today. I acknowledge the acting principal and also the district director. And I commend you for your dedication and your commitment and your outstanding work. I also acknowledge the minister for her outstanding work in the field of basic education. And I'd like to start by passing our sincere condolences to the families of the pupils that have lost their lives this morning in a tragic car crash. And I condolence also all of you. It is a very tragic accident. I just wanted to be here today, personally, myself, because the European Union is a long-standing partner of the Republic of South Africa in many sectors, and including education. Since the dawn of democracy, since 1994, we have worked together on so many areas. We've established the South African Qualifications Authority, which still functions today as an oversight body of national qualification frameworks. We have looked at provision of decent sanitation in 860 rural schools. We looked at development and introduction of sign language. We have worked together on the production and distribution of learner support material, such as textbooks and workbooks. And we have looked at the continuous professional development of teachers and teachers' training. We partner with the Republic of South Africa in the field of education because education matters. And I'm here today, and I'm very pleased to be here today to launch together with you, together with the minister, and together with our partners, a gender-inclusive education program, preventing gender-based violence, building fairer and safer societies through schools. We will fund this program with 5 million euros, and we are proudly working with our partners of the United Nations. And I wanted to just say thank you to the United Nations resident coordinator, my friend Nelson Mufu, and the UNESCO and UNICEF colleagues, as well as the Foundation of Human Rights. Those are the people that are going to work with us to work together to empower learners to recognize, report, and prevent gender-based violence in their schools, online, and in communities. Also, working to create safer, child-friendly schools and communities by establishing effective gender-based violence policies, reporting and referral mechanisms supported by data-driven policies and interventions, and capacitating parents, guardians, community leaders, and young people to identify, prevent, and respond gender-based violence in homes, schools, and communities through a whole-of-community approach. And that is what I'm seeing today here. The program will also work closely with the government to review and strengthen the national school safety framework to better respond to gender-based violence. So today, we launch more than a project. We launch a shield. This action is designed to ensure that schools in Gauteng and across 3 other provinces are places of safety, not fear. By partnering with UNICEF and UNESCO and the Foundation for Human Rights, we're putting tools directly in the hands of teachers and community leaders to break the cycle of violence, working towards sustainable actions that will continue to manifest beyond the 3 years of this action. Many youth go to school feeling the weight of economic stress or the fear of bullying, here and in the European Union. And to the students here, I want you to know that you're not alone if you relate to the struggles that I'm speaking about. The challenges of Eldorado Park and the challenges of cities in the European Union may look different, but the courage required to overcome them is the same. So I stand here, and the European Union stands with you in solidarity, sharing a common hope that every child, regardless of their geography, can learn in peace and in dignity. I am very proud that I came here today and very proud to announce the start of this important project. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Her Excellency. That was really a generous, very generous financial injection to these programs that are going to make sure that our learners are safe. But what I like most about what you said is that we'll never stand alone because we are there just to make sure that we support for the next 3 years. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take now this opportunity to get a message of support. In our midst, we have our UN resident coordinator, Mr. Nelson Mafa, who is also going to share with us 1 or 2 things so that we can really understand that this initiative is supported by different organizations and different funders. Mr. Mafa, over to you.
Good morning and Happy New Year to you all. Honorable Minister, Honorable MEC, the principal and educators here, the counselor, and of course my good friend, Ambassador Kramer, and the Executive Director, Kimi. I stand on existing protocol, whilst also acknowledging the UN colleagues who are in the room, who have been an instrumental part of shaping what has just been announced by both the Minister and the EU Ambassador. I acknowledge, therefore, the UNICEF country representative, Mr. Vedinik, and colleagues from UNESCO represented here today by Mr. Shawa. It is an honor, really, to join you all at Eldorado Park Secondary School for this important announcement, because it is important as well that fairness and safety, as we've heard, guides the experience and the outcome of what students across the country and not only here go through. And for me, this is really gratifying because the United Nations, along with the EU, were part of conspiring and ensuring that we emerge with this meaningful initiative. But Honorable Minister, before proceeding, let me extend special commendation for the recent matric results. Because for the first time, as I've been told, all 75 school districts achieved a pass rate above 80%. And these results reflect the dedication of learners, teachers, families, school leadership, and the Department of Basic Education at both provincial and national levels. They show that young people can accomplish when they're supported and protected. But at the same time, the results remind us that many learners still face barriers that undermine their potential, including the impact of gender-based violence on attendance, performance, and well-being. That's why this initiative announced today arrives at exactly the right moment to help ensure that success is within reach for every learner and not just some. And that South Africa is doing this as it faces the recently declared national crisis on gender-based violence. Young people, as we've heard, especially girls, often bear the brunt of it, and schools should be safe spaces for learning. Yet, many learners still face harassment, bullying, exploitation, and violence. And sadly, the recent floods in Limpopo and Mpumalanga, which have destroyed school infrastructure and disrupted access to safe learning environments in several communities, are a stark reminder of how vulnerable learners already are. And as we heard, very sadly, the tragic accident this morning, which has claimed the lives of 11 learners, painfully illustrates how vulnerable young people are, not only to violence, but also to unsafe transport systems, poor road conditions, and inadequate regulation. Safety must therefore follow learners from their homes to their transport, into their classrooms and at school, and back again. It is one continuum. And when physical safety and basic schooling conditions are compromised, the risks of violence, exploitation, and learning loss increase. And therefore, this makes our gathering here timely and essential. Teenage pregnancy also remains a serious concern that disrupts education and deepens cycles of poverty. It is not only a social issue, it is an economic one that affects the country's long-term potential. And that's why the United Nations is collaborating with different partners, including the European Union, in supporting a national reflection and action process, including recent preparations for the adolescent pregnancy in Daba. We have consistently emphasized that solutions must involve families, communities, schools, the private sector, and civil society. And each part of society has a role to play. This EU-funded program, which is being implemented, as we've heard, by UNESCO and UNICEF, with the Department of Basic Education, will strengthen school safety systems, teacher training, psychosocial support, and community engagement. It will bring evidence-based tools, but also the flexibility to respond to the realities that schools face and learners face daily. And as a United Nations family in South Africa, we are indeed also finalizing our Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework, which will be our umbrella initiative in ensuring good governance, accountability, rights, and addressing safety deficits. It is also focusing on strengthening GBV prevention and response services in schools, ensuring that this aligns with our commitment as we seek to accelerate the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals in the next 5 years. But as we've heard, what matters most is that the work is designed to scale and must be sustained by South Africa's own institutions long after external funding and partnerships may go. That's why, in acknowledging the deep and close collaboration the UN has with the European Union, especially on issues of GBV around the world, the Spotlight Initiative comes to mind. This is a fundamental investment which was to the tune of 500 million euros in countries across the globe. And we are now in phase 2 of that. And this program builds on that legacy. Honorable Minister, as I conclude, let me try to be more explicit. Today is not only about launching a project. It is about renewing our collective commitment to the dignity, safety, and potential of every child in South Africa. We owe it to young people to protect their right to learn without fear. We owe it to the country's future to break the cycles of violence that continue to rob children of opportunity and hope. The UN family stands therefore ready to support strong implementation, rapid learning, and sustained impact. And to the educators and learners here today, you are at the center of this work. Leaders that will ensure a fairer and safer society are being forged. Together, we can build schools and societies where every child is safe, valued, and able to thrive. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson Mafa from the United Nations. And I think we're encouraged that your commitment also talks to making sure that our learners are safe, valued, and get an opportunity to thrive. If our learners are safe in school, they are not disturbed on a daily basis, I can assure you we're going to move from 88% to 100%. What we need is just to make sure that our schools are safe. Thank you so much. At this point, I want to also invite on stage Dr. Zaid Kimi, the Executive Director from Foundation for Human Rights, who's also part of this initiative in ensuring that our schools are safe. And I think he also has special words of support to share with us. Over to you, Dr.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Zaid Kimi from the Foundation for Human Rights. I'd like to start off just by, of course, thanking the European Union for making us part of this project, and for our partners in the UN and the Department of Education and the Gauteng Department of Education, and of course the schools and learners that will be participating in this project. I think my colleagues have said pretty much what it is this project is going to be about. The understanding that in addressing violence in a school, it's not enough just to have systems and policies at schools, that those have to extend into the community itself, that we have to address and provide support to people who are the survivors of abuse and violence in schools. We have to provide pathways to that support within the community. And this is not something that can ever be addressed, in isolation within a school. I think those points have been very well made. The only thing I'd like to add to that is that even though this is a 3-year project, the longer term intervention that is going to be most important is changing our values and our minds within the schools itself. That's you, becoming better people, becoming the sort of people that will speak out against violence and abuse, that will take action, and extending that so that you become the sort of people who will call out violence and abuse within your communities, that because of your actions, you will change the minds, the hearts and minds of people in your community, your family members, your friends, your colleagues. And that longer term project, because addressing violence, we know, addressing the causes of violence, of gender-based violence in our community is of course important. It's not something that's going to change tomorrow or the year after. We know the physical, the economic, the structural conditions that give rise to violence. But we can also, while we're addressing those, start the process of becoming better people. And step by step, becoming the sort of school, the sort of community that speaks out against violence, that supports survivors of violence, and that understands the sort of problems our communities face. And that, we hope, in the longer term, is how we become a better society. And of course, all of the small intermediate steps, policies and support systems, those are all important. But all of those, in the end, fail if you, as you sit here and as this program is implemented, do not become the sort of people for whom violence and abuse is an anathema. If you don't become those sorts of people and you don't extend that into your communities, then all of these other systems and policies and programs will eventually amount to nothing. So we hope that as we start implementing this program, we'll start chipping away at the very substructure that causes societies like ours, and many societies across the world, to accept and tolerate and live with violence and abuse. And when we change that, then we'll have made some progress. So we look forward to the collaboration, and we're grateful to be part of this. And we hope that when it's done in 3 years, or maybe more than 3 years from now, there will be something tangible that's left behind. Some little ripple in a pond that will spread out and become something more significant. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zaid. And I think the message is clear that whatever programs that will be in our schools, they must demonstrate that you are not perpetrators of GBV, of bullying. And if that happens in the school, we no longer do it. It means in our communities, we must be ambassadors just to make sure that even in our communities, we are not those that are perpetrating such acts that are really not necessary. At this point, I'm going to call upon Babungobese to come on stage. He's from the DBE. He's going to share with us some of the support and intervention programs that are currently taking place in the department and will be taking place in the department, just to ensure that all our schools in the country are safe. And we have very exciting programs just for you, and we just need your support, both as learners and communities and our partners and stakeholders in this fight against GBV, bullying, and substance abuse. Over to you, Bamgowes.
Thank you very much. I must just indicate that protocol does not allow me to speak when my minister has spoken, but I'll just outline a few things that we have prepared as a Department of Basic Education that we will do through our district as well as the province to support the school. We have received during briefing, but also we had received the challenges that the school is faced with when we came with the South African police as part of the implementation of the protocol that the minister signed with the Minister of Police. Some of the challenges that we heard coming from the community, but also some of them stemming from the school. We are committing ourselves as DBE that we will work with the province, we will work with the district to strengthen the work that is already being done, coming from the office of the MEC in the province, issues that are related to governance. We are aware of the challenges of leadership and governance, which I think within this particular school term, the first term, we would want this particular challenge to be addressed. And so we will support the district in making sure that the school governing body is brought back to its functionality, because we have heard that currently there are challenges with the governance itself, and also members that are no longer part of the SGB. So we would want the SGB to be fully functional, because that is quite a critical and important part of running the school on a daily basis. So that is what we are committing to, because once the school governing body is functional, the committees that are under the supervision of the SGB will also be functional. Committees such as, for example, the school safety team, the school safety committee, QLTC, which is Quality Learning and Teaching Campaign, and many other committees of the SGB that are supposed to be functional. We have, in today's meeting here, brought also our colleagues from Department of Social Development, because we are aware of some of the challenges that learners are exposed to, and the program that we will do together with them, including, for example, the school, the Oprah Winfrey School, that is also going to be assisting us in making sure that we equip teachers, especially on trauma-informed classrooms, so that when we leave the school, we know that teachers are capacitated to actually deal with issues, especially coming of learners that are coming with the challenges of trauma, because we know what learners are experiencing in the environment. We have also brought our partners in the online safety space so that they assist learners. And we do understand that our grade 12s are quite focused, and there are not many issues with our grade 12, but we have, somebody has whispered, Minister, in our ear that the class that we might want to target is our grade 10, with all the issues of bullying, programs that are structured for boys that we will be also delivering in the school, issues around teenage pregnancy. I've even brought our own chief director, who is also going to make sure that we assist the school in moving forward. We have among us the Central Drug Authority, which is also going to be part of helping us as a department to support the school even when we are no longer here. We also know that teachers in this particular school have gone through quite a number of challenges, and we are still going to be planning for a session of motivation and support for the teachers. Those are some of the things that we think are quick wins that we would want to implement to support the school. And I do believe that when everybody in this particular school has been supported and they feel that they have received the support, we can even improve the results that we have achieved. So we will be sitting with the principal and his management team to draw up a turnaround plan, a school improvement plan with dates of when certain things are going to be done so that we can overcome the challenges that were told this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngobese. I think in short, the TPE is indicating that they will be working with the district and obviously identified stakeholders within the area will be part of that program, of that support team. So relax, don't think that, no, this is the end. A program is going to unfold and we'll have our localized intervention plan so that we involve as many stakeholders to support us in ensuring that our schools are safe. We're now coming to the last item before the vote of thanks, which is an exciting item. We will be signing a pledge. Signing the pledge of anti-bullying pledge, which is we're going to identify a few learners. I'm not sure who's coordinating that in terms of the pledge. Is the pledge ready? So we're going to invite our learners to come forward, read the pledge out, and then we all sign the pledge. Just as a commitment to say, as learners and as community, we want to fight this bullying in our institutions. All right. To read it out. Lower it. This, please, let's make sure that we are attentive because we must hear each and every word in the pledge. And I know learners have got copies of the pledge. We are making this pledge for all the learners of this school and learners who are not necessary for this school, so that we make sure that we enjoy safety in our institution.
School Safety Pledge for Learners. I, Zakia Abrams, a learner from Eldorado Park Senior Secondary School, agree that all learners deserve an opportunity to study in schooling environments free from violence and intimidation. Study in an environment which is inclusive of their being, and study in an environment which enhances their academic performance and holistic development. By signing this pledge, I agree to the following. 1. Refrain from bullying and assaulting other learners. 2. Refrain from abusing other learners on my digital platforms, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, etc. 3. 3. Refrain from joining gangs in my school and community. 4. Refrain from abusing alcohol and drugs in my school and community. 5. Refrain from sexually harassing and abusing other learners and teachers in my school and community. 6. Refrain from stealing belongings of other learners and teachers in my school. 7. Respect and value other learners and teachers who appear different from me. 8. Honor and respect all school policies, including anti-bullying policy and learner code of conduct. 9. Honor and protect all school furniture in the school. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please make sure that you don't lose those pledges. And it will also be important that as part of the program, the pledge is framed so that in each and every class, we have this pledge that will remind us of the commitments we've made to make sure that our schools are safe. The pledge also reminds you of things that we cannot do to yourself or to fellow learners, not only in your school, but also in your community. Now we're also observing a very critical moment where the minister will be the first signatory to the pledge and will ensure that that signature is a commitment on its own, and our dignitaries will also be given an opportunity to sign the pledge, and the learner that is signing the pledge also represent all of us by signing this particular pledge. And these stakeholders that have committed to working with us, these stakeholders that have committed to inject financial resources to such programs are also appending their signatures as a way of commitment. And we will keep this pledge today and for years to come so that it reminds us today we're all here, we witnessed this very important ceremony where we're saying school safety has been elevated. School safety is the priority for the Department of Education. School safety must be enjoyed by all of us. No one within ourselves must be victimized in one way or the other. No one in this community must feel threatened when they want to come to school. No one in this community must give learners drugs to sell in our school premises. No learner must carry drugs on behalf of others and sell them to other learners. No learner will come to school intoxicated. No learner will force other learners to take any stupefying drugs. But we also want to make sure that learners don't abuse teachers. Teachers don't abuse learners. Learners don't abuse members of the community. The community must not abuse our learners. This is a critical moment where history is being made to say school safety is no longer a talk show. School safety is something that we must get rid of so that generations to come must enjoy that schooling is the best weapon to can change our lives. I also want to see the acting school principal coming on stage and also signing the pledge, because she will also be the one who's protecting the pledge and reminding all our learners and stakeholders from time to time to say this is a very important pledge that we have signed today. Now that we are at the end, you can just sign as a stakeholder. I'm going to request our dignitaries just to come forward for a photo shoot. Dignitaries with the minister, if you can just come forward, they just want to capture a photo of all our dignitaries here. From there, we'll take a vote of thanks and I will give directions in terms of what should happen. Are we ready? Thank you. So you can join at the table. This photo will also be a reminder that during this day, the Minister of Basic Education in the Republic of South Africa was here to launch this program. This photo will remind us that the EU ambassador, Her Excellency, was here as evidence that there is commitment. This photo will remind us that the United Nations was here to make this commitment and support. This photo will indicate that the Foundation for Human Rights was here to make that commitment. This photo will also remind us that we're not doing all this for ourselves, but we're doing it for our beautiful learners who are in front. And as we reflect in years and days to come, we'll say we're there to champion safe schools in our province and in our country. Thank you so much, Minister and the colleagues. Colleagues, I want to take this opportunity to sign off, but with this one announcement, and please let us respect the announcement. The acting principal is going to do the vote of thanks. Immediately after she has done that, we are going to allow the minister and our dignitaries to leave first. Then all of us will follow. Just wait for my signal. I will tell you when to exit the room. But I want to thank you for being such a wonderful audience. And I hope that you are going to enjoy the rest of the day and the rest of the week. To the acting principal.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the staff, and the students, we'd like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Minister, Honorable Minister, and then everybody, the stakeholders who are here. We just want to thank you for supporting us. And I hope that this year the results will be better. We are going to make you proud because that was the problem that we have as a school. One of our problems that we have, the core one. So now I believe this year the results will be better. One day when you announce the results a day before, one of these learners will be there. Eldorado Park will be there. Thank you. Because we have best learners. We have learners that can make this. We have the learners that can make this Eldorado Park to be known, not as the gangsterism, but will be known of their education. It's just that they needed that support. That today the minister, thank you for coming, just to think about us. We're praying for this, that we need this also. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Acting Principal. As indicated, Minister, thank you so much for gracing this occasion, for spending time with us, and also for prioritizing Gauteng. I'm not sure whether other provinces are enjoying this, but I know Gauteng, that's where we want to make sure that we make the difference. But thank you so much. I'm going to allow the Minister and the dignitaries to take leave. Let's give them enough space just to walk out of the room. Whilst I tell you what is going to happen immediately after they've left, they must not listen to me when I'm making that announcement. So we'll allow the minister. A round of applause for the minister and the team as they leave the stage. Thank you so much. Bye, Minister. The minister loves you. Yes. How nice. How nice. Thank you. Those were the high fives for everyone in the room. Thank you so much, Minister. Let's allow the minister to leave. Let's allow the minister to leave. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm informed that there will be some refreshments that have been organized. And I think you will be welcome to they will give direction in terms of how refreshments are going to serve. But as for our beautiful learners, thank you so much. Please remain seated. Your teachers will tell you exactly where to next. You can come forward, man. Thank you so much.